Okay, this morning right away, I want to tell you that we have a horticulture teacher from Minnesota that's officially got Raylene,
Really?
the world's biggest pumpkin. A horticulture teacher from Minnesota is claiming the big win. This is it. 2,560 pounds.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. You like that? You like the sound of that? Does that get you excited?
Not really.
All right. All right.
This is a big ass pumpkin, right?
I wonder if there was.
I wonder if they could maybe what would make me get excited is if that guy was like entering the competition for the pumpkin chunkin and he built some enormous
Okay.
catapult
Now
and
you're talking. You imagine seeing a
launched that sucker.
2,500 pound pumpkin flying through the air.
No, exactly. Now that would be exciting.
I wonder if there was performance enhancing drugs that were involved. Just curious.
No, people don't do that anymore.
No,
Everything
that's
is
true.
all organic.
I have had six, count them, 6 pumpkin spice lattes this morning, and I am ready to roll.
For some reason, I believe that.
We're
You've
live
done that.
on Facebook and YouTube, and we're streamed on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, TuneIn Radio, Podchaser, Deezer, Podcast Addict, GeoSavan, and all of these are on
YouTube.
satellite. I mentioned YouTube.
Oh, yeah. And
It
we,
is-
we need people to make sure that they subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah. Because if Facebook ever shits the bed, which it's been known to, that's where we'll be.
Right, exactly.
Today is October 11th, International Day of the Girl Child. I'm going to say it again. International Day of the Girl Child. Good day for some girl power.
Okay.
Well, yep. I love being a dad of a little girl. She just puts the heart right into mush mode for this old feller.
I was always afraid to be a mom to a girl. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Why?
Well, you know.
You guys would clash hard.
No, because I think that I would have been a little too overprotective.
Oh, overprotective.
Yes.
I thought you meant you were going to be like, oh, don't you even.
No, I think that I think I would have been overprotective.
Well, we have another frosty, cold morning, either side of 30 right now for most towns waking up, but we're going to rebound nicely with highs reaching into the lower 60s today with partly sunny skies.
Which I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that too. 40 tonight under the stars, and then Wednesday, tomorrow. Looks like mostly cloudy, maybe a few breaks of sun, and mild around 70. So, listen, if you are planning on taking a little trip this winter, right now is apparently the time to pounce on the deals. The best prices available for airlines and travel. Experts are saying that if you're going to travel this winter, grab your tickets before Halloween, because once Halloween hits, I don't know what happens. We start thinking about Thanksgiving, and the prices start skyrocketing. So if you want to get the hell out of Dodge, January or February, go somewhere warm, and you want to book that airline ticket,
Do it now?
do it now.
Oh, okay. Did you see that the Burlington Airport put in like these crazy expensive new X-ray machines that are supposed to basically the same as where did we just fly out of? I think we were in LaGuardia, where it's just everybody goes into like one spot through security, and then once you're there, but you put your bag, laptops and all, right in the bin.
Okay.
You don't have to like go fishing, take weed stuff out. You just take it all out of.
No, I haven't seen this.
Yeah, they just started using it.
Really?
But they say still please come to the airport 2 hours early. Do you think they really need that time, the 2-hour early thing? Or do you think it's because they want you to spend a fortune at the Skinny Pancake while you're waiting? Just asking.
You know, I've never pondered that, but
$12 coffees and
and a $7 croissant.
yeah,
Yes. Interesting.
Because it's never taken me, knock on wood, all that long to get through security, even when the plane that I was getting on was full.
Right.
But you know,
Interesting.
just a question.
Halloween, right around the corner. You're going to hear us talking an awful lot about it. Yesterday, we did a big thing on Halloween candy, and that I'll tell you right now, that's not going to be the only time we're going to talk about Halloween candy. There's going to be a lot more.
There is. That's because you love candy.
This morning, and there will be other mornings, I'll give you a heads up, we're going to be talking about unusual Halloween costumes. Like the sexy occupation costume. You know, the sexy policeman, sexy policewoman,
Okay.
sexy bartender. Help me out, she. The list goes on.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have a sexy police officer.
What are you going to be?
Sexy? I'm not kidding here.
Are you going to be a sexy chicken?
I'm going to be sexy Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
There is such a thing.
Oh, okay.
There is a sexy Mr. Rogers costume. I've always wanted to do it. By God, I'm going to do it. I'm not letting anything get in my way.
Okay.
Lily wants me to be a short, fat turtle. We got the short and fat part figured out, but haven't figured out the turtle shell yet.
That's easy.
What, a sled? One of those little...
No, I told you, a sandbox cover.
Oh, that's right.
I even know people that have them. We could just strap that bitch right on.
Is it a green one?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Some Velcro?
And it's got like, it's even got the, the head. So your head would be like right. You could just, I'm just saying, we could totally fix you up. And to me, I mean, we could go next door to Aaron's and get a big refrigerator box and make you one, for God's sakes.
We could. Yeah,
That would probably be a lot lighter than a Tough Tyke sandbox cover.
It's not a bad idea. Nothing is a bad idea. Facebook question of the day this morning, the FBQ. I want to ask about scary movies. Your favorite scary movie of all time. I'm asking everyone this morning on the podcast, not just Raylene. Everyone. What is it for you? Is it The Exorcist from the 70s? Is it Halloween? The movie Halloween?
I don't know the
Paranormal Activity? What is it?
I don't watch TV and
No,
movies.
these are movies.
I know, or movies even. I don't know. Like, I don't know that I've ever.
You've never seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Nope.
Really?
No.
What about The Shining?
No.
What?
No.
Raylene, The Shining. That's a classic. 1980.
I don't know what to tell you.
Wendy,
We've had this discussion a million times.
Wendy, I'm home? That's not making a... No?
No.
Oh, my God. You need to watch The Shining. Please. I'm begging you.
I think I watched, like, what was the one with Freddy Krueger?
Well, that's Halloween.
Okay, I thought it was like Nightmare on Elm Street or something like that.
Well,
I think that's what it was called.
Well, maybe it was Nightmare. Yeah, that's right. You're right.
I think I saw that
no, you're right. That's yes.
Years and years and many, many, many moons ago. I only ever saw one. I know there's several.
Yeah. That's Nightmare on Elm Street. You're right. Halloween is Jason with the chainsaw mask. With the
and I've heard of him, and I've seen people dress up as him, as Jason.
Yeah.
But no, never watched it.
You know what you ought to do sometime? Watch Children of the Corn, and then go to the Great Vermont Corn Maze at night.
Okay. I probably won't do it, but
we have. I'm just glancing here at the national headlines. Should we do Vermont first? What's going on? Let's do birthdays.
Okay.
How about birthdays? Jen Sayer, Sophie Larios, Colleen Marie, Brenda Sample is on the list today.
Well, happy birthday, Brenda.
Not suggesting at all that she's 76, just saying that it's her birthday. Melody McCormick, Mackenzie Webster, Brittany Lemieux is 33. And I think that's it for local birthdays.
Well, happy birthday to all.
Yeah. What's going on in Vermont news? Anything? Do you know?
It's all posted right on the page.
Was there anything that stood out that made your eyebrows go up?
Not today, which is unusual.
Michael's correcting us here. Freddy was Nightmare on Elm Street. Jason was Friday the 13th. What was Halloween then? Who was the bad guy in Halloween?
Yeah, see, you don't know all that much about these scary movies.
But I know The
Did
Shining.
you think?
At least I know The Shining. Where am I?
Like I said, I know the Burlington. Hold on, I'll get.
No,
on the
I got it
page.
right here. Yeah. In the garden mulching. I see that. Horseback.
Yes, that's going to be on with Nardozzi and Sharon.
Yeah.
Yeah, today they're going to talk about that
Nardozzi's he's a mad scientist.
when it comes to gardening. Absolutely.
Knows his shit
Yeah.
big time. Horseback riders saddle up to help fight breast cancer. Susan G. Goman ride. 50 horseback riders. That's a pretty cool story. Like that.
I thought it was.
Of course, October is breast cancer month.
Mm-hmm.
Survivor of the July 4th parade shooting returns to school.
Yes.
Cooper Roberts.
And what an amazing young man that was able to,
Unreal.
persevere through that and decide that he needed to be back with his friends and stuff. That's a really nice story,
Incredible.
actually.
Incredible.
So,
Ronald McDonald House Charity.
yes,
Now
finally
I
settling in to a permanent location in Burlington.
Took 40 years.
Yeah. So that is very good to hear.
That's really cool. I'll stop here for just a second and say, been in there, spent some time there. I can't possibly say enough great things, and that's
Yeah,
massive
they
understatement.
do a whole lot for a lot of people.
They sure do.
Yeah.
They sure do. Vermont businesses get a boost in export grants. Digger's got that story.
Mm-hmm.
Export our lifeblood.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Vermont State House drops COVID vaccination and testing rules. Heard about that one, I think, was it yesterday or
Yeah,
this morning?
they're still talking though, so they've dropped all of that, but they're trying. I think that's for visitors. Oh my gosh!
Oh,
So much for turning off my ringer.
I hit the stack.
I guess I didn't turn off my ringer, huh? But anyways, they're talking about that, and but they're talking about that for just visitors.
Yeah.
I don't think that they've necessarily wrapped it all up for the whole body, because they're still talking about how can we vote. Will we have voting from members virtually if
Yeah.
we need to? And so there's still a lot of discussion on how it's all going to work.
Anybody has thoughts or opinions on that? Please be brave. Drop them up there. Glenn and Michael are really getting into it this morning.
They are
Oh yeah,
over the movies.
yeah.
Going-
Michael Myers. God damn it, I forgot that. Thank you, Glenn, for reminding me.
I have no clue.
National headlines this morning. And I'm going to preface by saying, just being really honest here, not a lot of this stuff is that great, but
No.
nonetheless, this is the shits part of shits and giggles. The threat of a freight rail strike back on after a major union of railroad workers rejected a tentative agreement Monday with the nation's freight carriers. More than half of the 23,000 members in one of the largest rail unions opposed the agreement, meaning the two parties will now enter negotiations in hopes of reaching a deal. Without a new deal, there could be a strike that significantly impacts the nation's already struggling supply chains. But such a strike would not occur until at least November 19th, according to the union. Well, by God, that's like a month away.
Yeah.
The Biden administration has been desperate to avoid a strike because major railroads carry 30% of the nation's freight, and a strike could cause shortages and higher prices for essentials like food and gasoline. Apparently, I didn't get the memo, Raylene, and neither did you, that food and gasoline is already spiked.
Yeah.
A strike could also force factories without parts to close and leave store shelves empty during the holiday shopping season. Prosecutors and defense attorneys will present closing arguments today. So
there's some shit for you.
that is some pretty good shit right there.
And I haven't heard lately. If anybody knows, they can tell us. I meant to try to look for it again today. I looked last week, but I'd like to know where UPS also stands with believing that they may strike. Has anybody heard if that has been resolved or not?
That's right.
That's going to put a big cramp into a lot of things.
Big time. Yeah, it was it FedEx also, or was it just UPS that was talking about it?
As far as I know, just UPS.
The Parkland school shooter. Today is going to be the last opportunity for his defense to make their cases before the jury is going to decide whether he'll be sentenced to death or to life in prison. The 24-year-old shooter.
What do you think is a better punishment?
God, you're going to put me on the spot and ask me that?
I think there should be a third option.
Well, I do too. I was going to say neither. I have another idea, which I'll refrain from.
Oh, so maybe 4, but I wouldn't refrain from that one. The Mountain Justice one.
No, you make 3 really good. Don't put 4. Just make 3 much bigger.
Yeah. If he's gonna have to be in prison, I would want it to be like literally solitary, the worst, shittiest treatment he could possibly get for the rest of his entire life. But letting him go and letting the public deal with it isn't such a bad idea.
Well, they do that. I think they do that in China, but not here. 24 years old, pled guilty to 17 counts of murder for that February 2018 massacre in Parkland, Florida. 14 students and 3 school staff members killed. Then we've got Uvalde, Texas. The school district superintendent just announced his retirement yesterday after new details surfaced about the Robb Elementary School massacre. 19 students and 2 teachers dead from that one. So the superintendent is adios. One-time Federal Reserve Chair Ben Bernanke, I know you love that name, and 2 other Americans were honored with the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences yesterday for their efforts during the financial crisis. That story right there got Raylene so worked up and so excited that Ben Bernanke got the Nobel Memorial Prize.
Don't listen to him, guys. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
She called me immediately. Did you hear about Ben Bernanke?
You're so full of shit.
The January 6th House Select Committee is going to hold its next public hearing on Thursday at 1 o'clock. Raylene's got alarms set in her phone so she doesn't miss it.
That's right. Yeah.
Donald Trump.
My life will just not ever be the same.
I know.
If I miss that, it's over.
It is.
I might as well just hang it up.
Did you hear that Donald Trump claimed at a rally that former President George H.W. Bush took classified documents and kept them? I'm not kidding, Raylene. Kept them at an old Chinese restaurant. If you don't believe me, Google this stuff. I wonder if the documents were tiny little pieces of paper stuffed inside the cookies.
Oh.
Where are we? Russian hackers knocked out more than a dozen U.S. travel websites yesterday morning, including a couple of airports in Atlanta and L.A. Russian hackers. Nothing too serious, though. I posted it up this morning on the Aired Out page. This one's going to get you going. More than 20,000 deaths on U.S. roads this year alone, according to the National Transportation Safety Board.
Yes, I read an article about that.
20,000 people.
Yep.
And now the National Transportation Safety Board is putting pressure on our federal government to put speed limiting systems in new cars. And they're testing this out with 50 fleet vehicles in New York City right freaking now. Speed limiting technology. Essentially, it recognizes that you're over the speed limit, and
it gives you a break.
It either
instead of doing like my car does and keeps the speed limit sign that's on the dash red all the time, and it flashes at you and yells at you.
Oh, does she talk to you too?
Yes, but remember we turned that off.
Oh, you have the option of turning that bitch off?
Yeah, remember, because remember that day that you went to Rutland with me and the little coffee cup came on the dashboard and she told me I might consider pulling over for a break?
Yes, it showed you a little steaming coffee cup.
Yeah.
Suggesting that you needed a break.
Because I take corners a little bit aggressively sometimes.
Apparently, there's going to be visual and audible alerts when the driver is speeding.
Yes.
Or it is just going to force your car to not go above the speed limit.
I know. Oh, that will be the day. I will find an old antique car and drive it first. No freaking way.
No, you won't.
I'll build my own.
You will not find an old antique car because those will be illegal to drive on the roadways.
Yeah.
For emissions.
The government can fuck off. That's what I have to say about that. That is just ridiculous.
World news. And this isn't good. Air raid sirens sounding in multiple regions of Ukraine still today and all day yesterday. Russia launching new missile attacks. Just a wave of attacks across the Ukraine yesterday. 19
That was
people.
awful. I watched some of the video footage last night.
It's unbelievable.
Just made me cringe.
Unbelievable. Vlad is pissed. I mean, this guy, wow. Somebody's got to take that dude out somehow.
I really wish they would.
President Joe Biden spoke with the Ukrainian president, Zelensky, yesterday. And
that's going to help a lot.
Well, hang on. He pledged, and I'm quoting here, continued U.S. security assistance.
Yeah.
Continued U.S. security assistance.
Mm-hmm.
But that apparently included advanced air defense systems. So what does that mean? Does that mean we're getting involved with this war? What say you, Michael Booten?
We've been involved in this war. If anybody thinks that we haven't, they're like way out there.
Advanced air defense systems is what Biden is saying we're going to do.
Whether we step up our game is the question, but we've been involved in the war. That's my opinion.
Meanwhile, Senator Robert
How can we
Menendez. Do you know Bob Menendez, the chairman of the Select Foreign Relations Committee? Do you know? Did you go to high school with him?
not? I don't. know
He
who it is.
threatened to halt weapons sales to Saudi Arabia after its seemingly siding with Russia. No more weapons sales to Saudi Arabia because the Saudis
Well, damn.
like the Russians. Again, lower 60s today, partly sunny if you're just joining us. 40 and clear tonight, and then mostly cloudy tomorrow, Wednesday. Maybe a few breaks of sun. Going to be mild. Time to get the Speedo on tomorrow, 70 degrees.
It's freaking cold in this window, I'm just telling you.
Community spotlight, and we love talking about the community. Today's Tuesday. Every Tuesday, the American Legion, Post 10, right down the road in Barrie, has a
Spaghetti dinner?
well, it just
Pasta.
a pasta meal.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight it is macaroni and cheese with a salad and a roll and dessert, Raylene.
For
'Cause I
$10
know-
bucks.
For $10. Pasta at the Post, baby. 479-9058 to pre-order. Again, 479-9058. I think it's wonderful they do this. I think it's great.
I do as well.
Carb it up tonight with the Post 10.
You know what else is tonight?
What else is going on?
City Council.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
City Council.
Yeah. So you can hang out at home in your jammies with your popcorn and your
Macaroni and cheese.
yeah, and watch if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that starts at, what, 7 o'clock?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can post the link.
Yeah. We can.
Um
Will you? Because
Of
it takes
course.
me a half an hour to find
Of
the
course.
link. You know that.
so before we possibly get into anything giggles, let's talk just a little bit more shit, and it's local shit.
You're talking shit?
Yeah. Well, shitty situation where, again, a young girl was attacked by a group of kids and hurt, really hurt, and had to be seen in the emergency room for medical attention.
Yeah.
And that happened this weekend. And they lured her by saying another friend of hers was hurt and could she come and help.
So,
And when she got there, she was jumped.
yeah. So here's the thing. And you and I haven't had a chance to chat about this before we went on the air this morning. And we normally do, but I was running late and came stumbling in here and threw the microphones on. There is a lot of stuff that's connected to this story since I have learned.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of there's a big side story to this, which I am going to politely and respectfully bow
Mm-hmm.
aside.
Oh, I know some of it. I've watched some of it unfold.
Yeah, it's not anything that that I want to get into, but I know that the school is very, very aware of everything that's going on.
But the bottom line is she was hurt, and it's horrible that these things happen.
yeah,
This little girl was hurt.
no kid anywhere, in my opinion,
Needs to be bullied and
no
smacked around.
no kid should be injured for the sake of or at the by the hands of anyone. Anyone, another child, an adult, anyone, no one.
Yeah.
There's a lot, and I'll say this, and we've said this many times on the air and off the air, that the overall mental health of, frankly, everyone. I mean, if there's someone that's walking around who has not taken some kind of hit to their mental health over the last 2 years, please show yourself. Because
Right. It has affected us all.
it's affected us all. And the kids are,
I don't think it was just the last 2 years. I think that the last 2 years, like I've said to you 100 times before, gave us all a chance to breathe for a minute and reflect on the shit
you're right.
of the world always. And so did those 2 years bring the shit, or did they just make us have time to recognize the shit?
Well, that's an interesting
And I
question.
think that it definitely added stress. But I think it let people recognize the shit in their life and gave them a moment of pause to say, is this how I want things to be?
You're right.
And now they're trying to figure out how to make those changes and cope with all of that. And that's a tough job. Digging yourself out of the mud
Yep.
is never easy. And so,
You're right.
yeah, I think we've been in a crisis for a really long time, and we've just been able to reflect on that and learn what is important.
All I know is the school is very much aware of it, and they are investigating aggressively and are going to do all they can to put the brakes on this, so that it's not happening before school, after school, on the weekends.
Right,
But
at any time. And maybe some adults need to be involved in the speaking and learning, and some of the adults in the situation need to have a little talking to as well. And because sometimes the biggest pot stirrers are the adults in the situation.
damn,
And that's
straight.
where we'll leave it.
Can I just add one amendment to that?
Of course.
That parents need to really, really, really start parenting a little bit. There are parents out there that don't parent, which is a verb, at all. They don't. They sit, they don't, maybe they don't know how, but they sit back and let a lot of shit go by. And they let their kids. You were saying yesterday on the air that when you were a kid, street lights come on, that was your cue
Oh, hell yeah.
to get home.
Yeah. The cue was the belt or the grounding or the something else that I might get if I didn't too. I knew
Right.
better.
Young kids should
no
not
rules.
be should not be there should be rules, there should be parameters, there should be consequences. I don't care if it's the winter or the dead of summer when you're not in school. You shouldn't be out late at night with your friends
No.
fucking around.
No.
And if you think if you think you and a few others are going to team up and beat the shit out of some other kid in your school, man, there should be some consequences that are much bigger than whatever the school could throw at them. Much bigger.
Yeah.
And it should be at the absolute baseline. It should be legal consequences beyond the school, beyond suspension or any of that shit.
I agree. And I agree that it's another huge reason that we need to get a grip on the opioid crisis. And because the amount of children's lives
Yes.
that have been affected, that are affected every single day,
Absolutely
is is great. It's huge. And until there's not going to be a lot of change while these kids are lost in that secret hell.
Yeah.
Because, and I say secret as somebody who has struggled greatly myself as a parent of not discussing. Only in the last year or so have I been really good about admitting that my son is an addict and that there's problems, that he has fucked up, that he has committed crime, he has done, the dumbest of dumb things, and I, as an adult, lived in this very lonely world of trying to understand the disease and to just wrap my mind around everything that is involved with it. And I can't imagine being a child trying to do that. And then the children are not only in the middle of it, they're trying to be a parent to their parents. Their parent is all whacked out of their mind, and the you've got a child taking care of the babies and the parent and doing all of these things. And it goes back to also what I said yesterday, where kids have far too much on their shoulders these days.
Yeah.
Far more than I ever dreamed of having as a child.
You're right.
And I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
And it's a very sad and unfortunate circumstance. And I don't know that is the bottom line for this family, but or the families in this situation, everybody involved. But there's obviously a huge disconnect, and somehow we need to bridge that gap.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said.
And there's plenty of services right here with one of our sponsors, Washington County Mental Health.
Right here.
There are plenty of services. There are plenty of programs, and you have the Our House and Circle and Washington County Mental Health. There are plenty of programs to get the help and do the things that you need to do.
Over 5,000 people just this past year alone have benefited from some service from Washington County Mental Health. Vermonters. We're going to lighten it up just a little bit. We have in the What's Whacked folder, we have professional. This is true, Raylene. I'll tell you right now, again, you don't believe me, Google this. Professional fakers are charging people up to $150 an hour to sit in their job interviews, the bait and switch interview. Job candidate hires someone else to pretend to be them in a job interview in hopes they're going to secure the job. When the job starts, the person who hired the proxy shows up for work. It's true. It's going on. Mostly in Europe, starting to infiltrate into the United States. Raylene, it's happening. A team of students in Germany. This one's for Michael Booten this morning. They just scored a Guinness World Record by building an electric vehicle that accelerated from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 1.461 seconds, fastest ever recorded. And if Michael Booten were to Google this story this morning, he would see that the car is tiny. Okay, yes, it is. It's a
Matchbox.
It's a one-seater. It weighs in at 316 pounds, but puts out over 1,700 horsepower per ton. And peak acceleration, it reaches forces of 2.5 Gs. Google it, Booten, I dare you. This way, you need to get from point A to point B, and you need to get to work. You're running late. Bang! You're there in
And we
seconds.
opened up the show with a story about speeding and the deaths of 20,000 people in the United States died this year already from speeding. And then you tell us this shit? Oh, my God.
Tabloid trash.
Just what we need.
I know there's a lot of people that are hoping that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to go from the big screen to the president of the United States. There's a lot of people out there.
Yes, that's exactly what we need.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's saying right now, officially in the tabloids, stop. My presidential run is off the table. I'm not running for president. I just want to be a dad. I just want to be a good dad for my kids. Everyone, just stop. I'm not going to be the president of the United States. All right.
Damn.
I know.
Damn.
Let's
I thought
see.
we were going to go from Tweedledee to Tweedledum, but I'm just saying.
Jury selection starts today in the Danny Masterson sexual assault trial. You remember the star of that 70s show? Charged with 3 counts of forcible rape. Faces a sentence of 45 years to life. Jury selection starts today, Raylene. NFL. The season gets underway tonight. Excited about that? NHL?
Not really.
You know, the NHL, that's hockey.
I know what hockey is. I like to watch hockey in person, not on TV. I love to go to a game. It's super intense. But in TV, you can't really keep track of what the hell's happening.
I don't think anyone is more excited than the American Dental Association about this. Frankly, I mean, really, I mean, are there any? Do you know anyone who gets worked up about NHL hockey? Really, anyone? I don't.
I have a couple of friends that are like really into watching it. You mean is that
NHL?
what you mean? Yeah.
Oh God, I need to get a life.
Oh gosh. Is the door locked?
Let's see.
They're going to use your head as a puck.
Raiders and Chiefs. Kansas City came back, beat the Las Vegas Raiders. I still want to say the Oakland. Monday Night Football, 30-29 last night. That was a nail biter, Raylene. You got all worked up about it. Suspended quarterback Deshaun Watson returning to the Cleveland Browns facility yesterday. Can't practice, can't play in any games, but he can participate in team meetings and speak one-on-one with the coaches if he wants to.
Okay.
And by the way, his old team, the Houston Texans, made an offer to their fans. Anyone who owns a Texans jersey that they don't want anymore, such as a Deshaun Watson jersey, they can trade it in and get a 44% discount on a new one. I think that's great. The Philadelphia Phillies run to the playoffs, and they upset the St. Louis Cardinals in the wild card round, and that led to the manager, Rob Thompson, getting shit-canned.
Yeah.
If your team sucks,
that's it. You're out of there.
No
more millions of dollars a year for you, baby.
The Phillies take on the Braves in early one today. Hoops, check this out. Nike has finalized an endorsement deal with the son of LeBron James. His name is Bronny. He just turned 18 years old. He's still playing at Sierra Canyon High School in Los Angeles. Just got an endorsement deal from Nike. 18 years old.
Oh.
BoobTube, I know you're watching Bachelor in Paradise. How was the show last night? Did you love it?
I have not a clue. I don't even know what you're talking about.
The love triangle between Genevieve, Aaron, and Justin. You're not.
You're watching it though, aren't you?
What?
Aren't you? Just a minute. Just aren't you? Does it come on after say yes to the dress, or My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding that you like, or what is the other one that you really like? Admit it. Just tell everybody.
Season 5 of The Crown briefly paused, of course, after the death of Queen Elizabeth. Still on track to start November 9th. So just all you ladies out
90
there.
Days the Single Life. That's what you like to watch with Big Ed. Now I remember. No Necked. That is your favorite. Now I remember. Is that even on anymore? Remember how excited you used to get about watching that show?
No Neck Ed. That show absolutely blows my mind. It just blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Streaming debuts, we have The Cage on Netflix, Season 1. I think that kicks off tonight Also on Netflix, season 1 of Island of the Sea Wolves, and Paramount Plus has season 3 of Never Seen Again. Again, we have a beautiful day today. We're saying partly sunny, lower 60s, 40 tonight, clear skies, and then Wednesday, tomorrow, mostly cloudy, maybe a few breaks of sun. Going to be mild, though, 70 degrees. Don't forget Tom Lozon. Will be in tomorrow, Barrie City Councilor.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have some fun with him. We always do. And thanks for catching the show today.
Yes. Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, be good. Have fun. Take good care. And thanks for watching. Air It Out Podcast, seen and heard live on Facebook. From the ASB Financial, Fly in the Wall Production Studios, North Main Street, Barrie, epicenter of Central Vermont, streamed around the world. YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, TuneIn Radio, Podchaser, Deezer, Podcast Addict, and Raylene, Geo Savant. Very good.